Good morning, almost good afternoon. My name is Michael Hastings, the president of the Burbank Police Foundation, and on behalf of my entire committee, we would like to thank you all for being here today to recognize outstanding performance. And you know, it's very hard to pick out someone that's done something outstanding when you look every single day and you realize that these men and women that go out and serve us are out there in service. And they're outstanding every single day. Just a very quick, short story. Last night, my wife and I were coming in pretty late on a flight, and we got in at like 1 o'clock. My daughter called just to say how great the BPD was. There was a bicyclist that was killed, and they had a memorial at his place. I knew the guy. Police were there to help people, guide them through it, compassionate with them. That's our Burbank Police. Let's hear it again for our Burbank Police, please. At this time, I'd like you to please stand for the presentation of the colors. The Burbank Police Color Guard, then we'll have the national anthem, and then an invocation. But if the color guard would now please come in.
Uniform personnel, attend, ho! Honor Guard, present the colors.
Forward, march, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, detail, halt, left, face.
Uniform personnel, present arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Order, order.
Column left, march, left, right, left, 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 left, right.
Uniform personnel, at ease.
Ladies and gentlemen, be seated. Most of you on patrol and in other places, you stand long enough. God will understand. Sit down. Master of the universe, We invoke thy blessing upon those who are assembled here and those who, while not here, share the responsibility as guardians of the city of Burbank. And may also all those loved ones of these tireless custodians of safety be also blessed. For they carry out your dicta, O heavy spirit, as spoken in Leviticus, thou shalt not stand idly by the blood of your neighbor. These, your servants, and by extension their families, are neither idle nor uncaring, but respond to all dangers. They take to heart your Talmudic injunction to uplift the fallen, free the enslaved, and heal the sick. I am a witness to their actions and can attest to their proficiency, their conscientiousness, and most of all to their caring and mercy for all they come in contact with. Now, Master of the universe, we know that not all see your divine power and are enlightened enough to know that you are always with us, guiding our actions. But you have stated in Pirkei Avot that wisdom, even of you, when it exceeds good deeds, is like a tree whose roots are shallow and easily knocked over. But a person whose deeds exceed their wisdom, even of things divine, is like a tree with deep roots that even the strongest of storms cannot topple. O Heavenly One, please give blessings to all those who believe in you, and even those who have not yet found the sweet repose of your sheltering spirit. For we know that your shelter, O Heavenly Spirit, will be as wonderful to all as the pine tree that the traffic officers have found overlooking Buena Vista, just north of Clark. Thank you. For as it is said in the book of Isaiah, God increases power to him who has no strength. But they who have faith in the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Now, eternal God, I would like to bless those assembled here. First from the book of Joshua. Would you all please rise? Chazak ematz lishmor haaretz. May you all have strength of body and strength of spirit to continue to guard the land of Burbank that we so much love. From the book of Numbers. May the Lord bless you and watch over you and guard you. May the great countenance shine upon you and be gracious unto you. And may God bring you shalom. May the blessing that we give today, may it be carried to your friends and to their friends and to their friends. And may it be the day soon when no one will go to sleep in hunger and wake up in famine. That no one on this earth will go to sleep in sickness and wake up in disease. And most important, no one in this earth will go to sleep in fear and wake up in terror. For that is the dream we all have, to a world full of peace, completeness, and fulfillment, which is the true meaning of shalom. And let us all say, Amen.
Amen.
You may be seated.
Just very quickly, before we get started for your lunch, I'd like to give you a little bit of background for those of you that are not aware of what the Burbank Police Foundation does. We do a number of events in the community, but mainly what we do is we try and promote the Burbank police officers and what they do. The support staff that are in the building, those that are sworn and unsworn, go above and beyond what we all do every day in our lives. So we do things called the Family Fun Day. We fund the Downed Officers Fund so that officers that are killed in the line of duty in counties that surround Los Angeles, our organization sends checks to their families. We do programs in the high schools for distracted driving. We do things that are fun. We did a darts and cartoon coloring and ping pong marathon tournament this year. We do this annual luncheon. We also help fund some equipment needs that the police might have, and this is all done through the funds that you people help us raise. And also we are part of the Matthew Pavelka Scholarship Fund, which gives out scholarships each and every year to 6 recipients, 1 from each high school and 1 from a BPOA member's family. This year, it will be the 15th year of the anniversary of Matt Pavelka's death. So instead of the $1,000 per student award, we're going to be giving $1,500 this year, and that money was also donated by the Walt Disney Company. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Chief Lachaz. Chief?
It's a great day. Welcome. You know, things like this, like Michael said, really don't just happen. There's a lot of work behind the scenes, and I've got to acknowledge once again all of those board members out there, because when you look at the board and how we work, there are no lunches, there are no treats, there are no outings. Everybody truly gives of themselves, and all the proceeds that we get go back into the community, whether it's the Family Fun Day, the Pavelka Scholarship. So I just want to reassure everybody that it's truly a board of volunteers that give, and give again. I would also like to acknowledge the awardees today. And when you look at the awardees and listen to the very compelling stories, we've got sworn officers, civilians on the department, volunteers, and people from the community. But this is truly a partnership. With that, I'd like to just read one brief statement from an individual by the name of Sir Robert Peel, who's really the father of contemporary police service, and this goes back more than a century and a half to Great Britain. The basic mission of the police is to prevent crime and disorder. The police are the public, and the public are the police, and both share the same responsibility for community safety. And I think that embodies, again, what we're all about. This department has a tremendous relationship with the community, and you look around this room and look at the diversity that's represented here, the various disciplines, people of all ages. It's really great. We have a commitment to the community, and we have to have that partnership. And to digress just for a moment, and this is not a recruiting effort, it's an opportunity though. We have a community police academy, and to show you that we are truly the police department for the entire community, we do something that's very special for our community that doesn't happen in all communities, and that is with our community police academy, we do them in Armenian, in Spanish, and for the hearing impaired, which is really a great thing when you look at the people that attend these functions and the knowledge they're taking away and the partnerships that we're building with them and vice versa. It is just so heartening to see the people that have been represented at the police academy, and then of course for us now to build a partnership. Through those partnerships of the people in the community police academy, we adopt volunteers. So we aggressively recruit. So if you want to be a volunteer for the department, and you're going to hear some very great stories about our volunteers today, the first step is to join the Community Police Academy, and you get a hold of any one of us and we'll get you plugged in at the next available academy. Before I leave, I'd like to just say one other thing that I love quotes. This comes from Helen Keller. Alone we can do little. Together we can do so much. So again, that's what partnerships are all about. This event is about partnerships. There's great and compelling stories. And the one thing I'd like for you to do, you've got a really nice program here, but before you leave, look at the back of the program on the last page, and you've got the core values and mission statement of the Burbank Police Department. And that's something we're very proud of. That was something that was a collaborative effort of not just the staff of the police department, but of employees, sworn and civilian throughout the ranks. And they're the ones that drafted that. It was approved, and that's what we're all about. And if we're not about that, then you need to let us know, because we want to live up to the mission statement core values. So thank you very much. We are honoring some great people today, and I want to honor everybody that's here in support as well. Thank you very much.
I'd like to introduce some of our distinguished guests joining us today, and I'm going to ask that you please hold your applause because we have quite a list, and when we're all finished, we'll all clap and say thank you to them. So from the city of Burbank, I'm not sure if he's here, but the mayor, Mr. Will Rogers. Will, are you here? If you are, please stand up. Understand you got to watch his video. He's up in a helicopter if you watch the latest mayor video. It's actually very good. Vice Mayor Emily Gable Luddy, Councilmember Bob Fructose, Councilmember Sharon Springer, City Manager Ron Davis, Assistant City Manager Justin Hess, City Treasurer Debbie Kukta, City Attorney Amy Albano, Amy, I remembered again, Assistant City Attorney Denny Wee, also I saw Joe walk in here, Joe's here somewhere, Community Development Director Patrick Prescott, Fire Chief Eric Garcia, Assistant Fire Chief Danny Alvarez, Burbank Public Library Service Director Elizabeth Goldman, Management Services Director Betsy McClinton, Burbank Police Commissioners Mike Chapman, Bob Cohen. Are you people standing up? I don't see anybody standing up. Hackett Hergerlian, former police commissioners Nat Rubenfeld, Rick Warmack, Burbank Unified, nobody's standing up. Burbank Unified School District Superintendent Matt Hill. Matt, stand up. Show some leadership here. Burbank Unified School District Board Member Steve Frintner. Joining us from the Glendale, they crossed the moat, the Glendale Police Department, Glendale Captain Tim Feely, Glendale Lieutenant John Gilkerson, Glendale Lieutenant Rafael Quintero, Public Safety Business Specialist Luzine Yarian. Now, would you all please stand up so we can clap for you, please? Just stand up. Come on, stand up. Thank you. We are so pleased to partner with our county, state, and federal elected officials today who have provided each honoree with a beautiful certificate of recognition for a job well done. Please join me in welcoming from Honorable Adam Schiff's office, Pamela Marcello, Congressman Brad Sherman's office, Mary Chakarian, from State Senator Portantino's office, Arda, State Assembly Member Laura Friedman's office, represented by Victoria DeClovian, and from LA County Board of Supervisors, Catherine Barger's office, Jason Markura. Please, let's have a round of applause for those folks. And by the way, just very quickly, Glendale, God bless you for being here, but you know, I did mention to a couple of the other Glendale officers a lot that Shelley Rosati and myself and so many other police officers put together to put this foundation together. We worked closely with the Glendale Foundation, Police Foundation, and we really appreciate them working with us to help us build a foundation. We're only 4 or 5 years old, but thank you to Glendale for all of your participation in helping us grow. Really do appreciate it. You know, I'd like to also take a moment to highlight the tremendous community support we have received. We would not be able to honor a terrific police department without your generous help, and I'd like to take a moment to recognize our presenting sponsor, the Cusimano Real Estate Group. You folks please stand up. Come on, Michael, Chuck, Roger, Charlie. This is quite the family of support. The advantage we have with the Burbank Police Foundation is we actually had a bidding war for who would be the presenting sponsor. And I mean, I'm not kidding. It was fantastic. And the Walt Disney Company said, look, instead of us being a presenting sponsor, let us put that money toward the Matt Pavelka Scholarship. So thanks again to the presenting sponsors and the Walt Disney Company. It's a tug of war, and I love that kind of tug of war. In addition, we have many other sponsors listed in the program and on the screen, so let's all give a big round of applause for all of our sponsors, because we wouldn't be here without them. Now, if you would please enjoy your lunch, we'll be back to you shortly with the awards so we can get you all back to work after we honor these fantastic people that have worked and served the city of Burbank either in the department or as citizen volunteers. Thank you very much. Enjoy your lunch.
If I can have your attention, please. We've got some, an announcement that needs to be made. There's no good time to do it, but I'll allow our Vice Mayor to take over at this point.
Thank you, Chief LaChasse. All of you have been a good friend to our city, and I wanted to say that about 30 minutes ago, our mayor, Will Rogers, passed away. I would like all of you to join me in a minute of silence. And as we have that silence, think about all the great things that he has done for our city and all the humor that he brought to our tough jobs. And in the spirit of his spirit, let's think about continuing on with our lunch today and honoring those who came to this lunch. I think that would be an appropriate way to remember him. And I asked the rabbi to join me to see if he had some words, and then we'll observe a minute of silence. Rabbi Sobel.
All that we ask is that you remember the mayor, and those memories become a blessing as he begins his travels through eternity. And may his memory be one of us, to us, of eternal life, of joy, and of happiness. And in his name, may we dedicate ourselves to make the city of Burbank even a better place. And let us all say, Amen.
Amen.
Yilaratzon, Imri Figion Libi Lefanecha Adonai Tzuri V'Goali. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable unto you, Lord, my rock and my redeemer. And once again, let us say, Amen.
Amen.
Today we express our appreciation and give thanks to the many sworn and non-sworn men and women who keep Burbank Police Department running and running smoothly. Their outstanding efforts keep Burbank safe 24/7. And now for our awards presentation, I'd like to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, who's been with us in the past, and we're honored to have him. This afternoon, a Burbank resident, Jim Roop, who's also a brother of Knights of Columbus. He's an accomplished radio broadcaster and journalist who is driven by an incredible passion of self-expression. He has been the recipient of 12 Golden Mike Awards, which in Southern California's most prestigious and coveted broadcast journalism prize. In addition, he has received 2 Peabody Awards, which recognizes distinguished achievement and meritorious public service. We do appreciate Jim for taking time out of his day and being part of this, because being a radio correspondent, you never know when he's going to be able to make this or not. But Jim, thank you very much for making it again this year. If you'd like to come up, please. Let's hear it for Jim Roop, please.
I'm a little shorter than Mike, so it is a great honor to be here again. I am a Burbank resident, and one of my neighbors had an encounter with a Burbank officer just 2 days ago. My neighbor is of advanced age, 51. He's 84, and he just realized his dream of buying a Corvette at 84. So I live up by Sunset Canyon, and he was taking that Junior down Sunset Canyon at a pretty good clip. He heard a noise, looked in his rearview mirror, and was being lit up by one of our fine officers of Burbank. He told me the story. He said the officer came to the window, looked at me, and said, "Look, it's 3 o'clock. My shift is over in 30 minutes, and it's a Friday. So if you can give me one good reason why you're going so fast, I'll let you go," with a warning. He said, "Well, 40 years ago, my wife ran off with a police officer. I thought you were bringing her back. Don't speed again, sir." But it is a pleasure to be back for the 4th annual Burbank Police Awards Luncheon, hosted by the Burbank Police Foundation. This is the time of year when we as a community gather to recognize the hard work and contributions of the men and women of the Burbank Police Department, as well as the citizens of Burbank's community. Today we'll share stories of courage, bravery, professionalism, and honor. Many of these stories are of selfless acts that have impacted so many lives and remind us of the dedication of our police officers in serving and protecting the public. To get started, we'd like to ask Sergeant Cindy Guilen and Detective Josh Kendrick to come forward to the stage. On January 5th, 2017, several officers responded to the Olive Avenue overpass for a call of a man threatening to end his life by jumping onto the busy I-5 freeway below. Among those officers were Sergeant Cindy Guilen and Detective Josh Kendrick. When they arrived, both Sergeant Guilen and Detective Kendrick began negotiating with the man who was clearly suffering from mental health issues. As he clung onto the overpass railing, Sergeant Guilen quickly arranged for the freeway to be closed, and she asked for an additional resource, which included an inflatable air cushion in the event that the man did jump. The scene quickly became chaotic with the news media arriving, in addition to heavy traffic and spectators. And despite the hectic, intense environment, Sergeant Guilen and Detective Kendrick were able to build trust with the man and convince him to step back over the railing to safety. Sergeant Guilen's and Detective Kendrick's training, calm demeanor, and dedication to the preservation of life led to the safe and positive outcome of an extremely stressful event. Sergeant Guilen's and Detective Kendrick's actions that day have earned them both the Burbank Police Lifesaving Medal. There are a few empty chairs at some of these tables, by the way. I'm informed that we have several both sworn and non-sworn personnel in an investigation in another county. So we keep them in our thoughts because they don't get the free lunch, but they are working hard. Our next award involves another story of life-saving efforts. Would Officers Harry Markey and Ashley Burt please come to the stage? All sworn members of the Burbank Police Department receive regular training in CPR. On March 15, 2017, Officers Harry Markey and Ashley Burt were working patrol when they were alerted by a frantic citizen of a man who had collapsed in the middle of the street. Officers Markey and Burt quickly jumped into action, found the man lying face down in the street after having suffered an apparent heart attack. He was not breathing, had no pulse. While waiting the arrival of paramedics, both officers began performing chest compressions, and once paramedics arrived, they continued CPR while transporting the man to a local hospital. As a result, the man's heart began to beat again on its own. Thanks to the quick actions, training, and performance under pressure of Officers Markey and Burt, the victim of the heart attack survived and was released from the hospital just days later. In a follow-up phone call, the man and his family expressed their gratitude for the officers' actions on that day. It is our privilege and pleasure to present to Officers Harry Markey and Ashley Burt the Burbank Police Life-Saving Medal. Thank you. Now we'd like to ask Detective John Voorhis to please come to the stage. They put you guys far away so we can watch you walk up. See, that's it. On the morning of October 5th, 2017, Detective John Voorhis was on his way to work, traveling along the southbound I-5 freeway in his personal vehicle. That's when he saw a motorcyclist collide with the rear of an SUV, ejecting the rider onto the freeway. Without hesitation, Detective Voorhis stopped and positioned his car to create a lane closure. He then approached the motorcyclist and learned he had stopped breathing. Detective Voorhis began administering chest compressions while calling 911. Unfortunately, the motorcyclist succumbed to his injuries as a result of that collision. Detective Voorhis has a background as an EMT, was a medic on the Burbank SWAT. He selflessly used those skills in order to render aid to a fellow motorist. His actions that day are deserving of the Life-Saving Medal, recognizing his efforts to sustain the life of the downed motorcyclists. Ladies and gentlemen, Detective Voorhis. Would police volunteer Ted Schoenlaw please come to the stage? The daily grind of police work puts wear and tear on equipment, especially shoes, I think. And much of that equipment needs to be maintained. With advances in modern technology, it's not always that easy. Recently, there was a need to upgrade the department's patrol rifle inventory. Burbank Police Rangemaster Dwayne Doc Wolfer was tasked with researching and procuring the modernized patrol rifle system for use by sworn personnel. Rangemaster Wolfer enlisted the help of Burbank Police volunteer Ted Schoenlaw, and together they conducted extensive evaluations and testing of various rifle platforms. Once a rifle system was selected, they were given approval to launch the project. Over the course of several months, Rangemaster Wolfer and volunteer Schoenlaw spent countless hours implementing the new rifles into the patrol fleet. This includes purchasing and mounting accessories like optics, sling mounts, slings, cup holders. No, there's no cup holder. And ammunition. They also spent a great deal of time configuring and calibrating the firearms and provided extensive training to all sworn personnel on deploying and using those rifles. The feedback from Burbank police officers has been universally positive. The new patrol rifle system has given officers the means and confidence to accurately address significant threats and high-risk incidents. This means a greater ability for officers to protect the community, other first responders, and themselves. Rangemaster Wolfer's and volunteer Schoenlaw's hard work and dedication in their research, training, and implementation of the new patrol rifle system has earned them both the Professional Esteem Award. Doc Wolfer could not join us today, but accepting on his behalf is Ted. Congratulations to you both. The Burbank Police Department relies on partnerships with the community in its mission to protect life and property and provide professional police services. Many times it is the private citizens within our community who assist police officers in the successful outcome of an incident. Over the next several minutes, we'll recognize everyday citizens who became good witnesses and lent a helping hand to our officers in the performance of their duties. I'd like to ask Jeffrey Takovich to please come forward to the stage. On the afternoon of August 23, 2017, an adult woman was walking alone along a Burbank sidewalk when she was approached from behind by a suspect who grabbed her purse from her shoulder. The suspect pushed the victim before running off with her purse. Now, while this crime was occurring, Jeffrey happened to be driving in the area and saw the woman in distress. As the suspect fled with her purse, Jeffrey began to follow. He grabbed a hold of him, and this guy was 7'2", 300 pounds, right? And he detained him until police officers arrived and took him into custody. The woman's purse was also recovered and returned to her. Jeffrey's attentive response to what was occurring led to the capture of a robbery suspect and assisted a complete stranger who had fallen victim to that crime. Because of this, Jeffrey Takovich is being honored today with the Burbank Police Citizens Award. There are several other citizens to commend for their assistance and actions in helping the community and the police department in performance of their duties. Unfortunately, these citizens were not able to join us today, but are still deserving of that recognition. First is Claudia Gonzalez de Gomez, who in April of 2017 saw a distraught man threatening to jump off the ledge of a 6-story parking structure. The man had made it clear he intended on ending his life, at which time Claudia engaged him in calm and reassuring conversation. Over the course of several minutes, Claudia convinced that man to come off the ledge and reconsider his decision. For her actions in helping save the man's life, Claudia Gonzalez de Gomez is a recipient of the Citizens Award. Next Jose Luis Martinez, who in July of 2017 helped Burbank Police track down and arrest a robbery suspect within minutes of committing an armed robbery of a 7-Eleven convenience store. Mr. Martinez provided photos and a partial license plate, which led officers to finding the suspect at a convenience store in North Hollywood. In addition to the Burbank robbery, it was learned the suspect was responsible for another armed robbery earlier that morning in Los Angeles. Jose Luis Martinez is a recipient also of the Citizens Award. And our next story involves a trio of neighbors who helped detain a residential burglary suspect in November of 2017. That's when Paul Ackert, Robert Nigro, and Eric Montoya saw a man jumping a wall into the backyard of a home. Now, as the man tried to flee, the three men detained him, called police. It was learned the suspect had kicked in a door in the home and stole some jewelry. The alert observations of Paul, Robert, and Eric are deserving of the Citizens Award. And finally, we recognize Miguel Vasconcelos. In January of 2018, Miguel saw a suspicious vehicle in his driveway and a man and a woman fleeing the area. He snapped a photo and provided his observations to police. It was learned the duo was responsible for 5 armed street robberies that occurred just minutes earlier in Burbank. The information provided by Miguel led to the identification of both suspects. Within hours of the robberies, Burbank police located the suspects and took them into custody. Miguel's quick thinking and observation helped solve a violent crime spree and has earned him the Citizens Award. The Burbank Police Department is lucky to have a group of dedicated volunteers who work hard in a variety of assignments and provide much needed help to both sworn and civilian employees. In 2017 alone, Burbank Police volunteers collectively donated nearly 5,000 hours to their department. Would all of the Burbank Police volunteers in attendance today please come forward to the stage? Each volunteer standing before you, whether down there or up here, plays an essential role in the day-to-day operations of the police department. We will now honor them by presenting the President's Volunteer Service Awards. In the bronze level, recognizing volunteers who donated between 100 and 249 hours, are Ann White, Bill Harold, Connie Lawless, Aaron Reddig, Judy Andrews, June Box, Jackie Light, Linda Tronconi, Lynn Turner, Patricia Harold, and Sonny Singer. Now the service awards in the silver level for volunteer service hours of 250 to 499, John Kemmerer, Kay Norris, and Soon-Hee Newbold Redding. And finally, the gold level award, recognizing volunteers who provided over 500 hours of service. Those are the ones who look tired. The recipients of the Gold Award for 2017 are Elaine Stevens and Ted Schonlaw. Congratulations to all of our police volunteers, and thank you for your service. It is truly appreciated. And if we could ask Elaine Stevens to remain on the stage, there she is, for the presentation of the Volunteer of the Year Award. Oops, did I give it away? Elaine Stevens, recipient of the Gold Service Award, graduated from the Burbank Police Community Academy that the chief was talking about. She graduated in 2013. She then started as a police volunteer working in the Traffic Bureau Film Permit Office. Elaine later transferred to the Patrol Division, providing skills and expertise in the development of a new patrol log. Elaine has donated over 1,200 hours of service working to enhance and improve reports and documentation procedures in order to have a better understanding of the effectiveness levels of police services. Elaine has demonstrated a high level of service to not only the Burbank Police Department, but also to our community. In recognition of her dedication and extraordinary work ethic, Elaine Stevens has earned the 2017 Burbank Police Department Volunteer of the Year Award. Congratulations. Aside from volunteers, the Burbank Police Department is comprised of both sworn and non-sworn civilian employees. Each year, one civilian employee is distinguished as the non-sworn employee of the year. Non-sworn means she didn't use one curse word the entire year. You know her better. Carly Lott joined the Burbank Police Department in 2002 as a police technician. She became proficient in assignments at the front counter, warrant officer, and the identification section. Once in the investigation division, Carly demonstrated an expertise and passion for the science of fingerprints. She has testified in court on numerous occasions as an expert print examiner, and her attention to detail has provided detectives with vital leads which have helped solve many, many crimes. Carly's dedication to master her field and stay current in fingerprint science is reinforced by her continued membership in the professional organizations, which helps to further develop those skills. Carly is a critical member of the Burbank Police Department's forensics team and a tremendous asset to the investigations division. Unfortunately, Carly could not make it today. She's one of those in another county in that investigation. She is doing what she does best, assisting with the search warrant and evidence processing in Riverside County. So please help me in congratulating Carly Lott. If we do it loud enough, she can hear us, as being named the non-sworn employee of the year. We are on to our final award, the Burbank Police Department's Officer of the Year. Would Officer Dan Turpin please come to the stage? Officer Dan Turpin began his career with the Burbank Police Department in 1993. Officer Turpin was competing among 900 applicants and was hired for only one of 4 positions available. Officer Turpin has held a variety of assignments, including patrol, serving as a school resource officer and motor officer, and currently as a motor field training officer. Officer Turpin is an outstanding motorcycle rider, known for taking training to the next level and consistently introducing innovative and challenging ways to improve the unit's riding skills. You can see him standing on his bike many times, riding down the 5 freeway, all while maintaining an excellent safety record. Officer Turpin leads by example, demonstrating a strong work ethic and exemplary skills when dealing with the public. During his tenure, Officer Turpin has received countless accolades and commendations from citizens for his courtesy and professionalism. Officer Turpin embraces the Burbank Police Department's core value of excellence and proudly serves this community. It is our pleasure to introduce the 2017 Burbank Police Department Officer of the Year, Dan Turpin. He was telling us at the table that he's retiring in 8 months, roughly. 8 months. I'm just one lottery ticket away from retirement myself. Congratulations. Please join me in one more round of applause for all of our award recipients here this afternoon. This has truly been another year of remarkable achievements and outstanding service by the members of the Burbank Police Department and the citizens of our community. The support demonstrated by all of you today by attending this event reinforces the mission of the Burbank Police Department to work in partnership with the community in order to protect life, property, and provide professional police services. So on behalf of the Burbank Police Department, the Burbank Police Foundation, thank Sergeant Derek Green for the words that I read today. Very well done. I would like to thank each and every one of you for joining us today, and I look forward to hopefully next year, as we will once again pay tribute to those who are truly making a difference in our community. Thank you all very much.
Don't go yet. Don't go yet. We have a little bit more to go. But one more time for Jim, if we could. I think you see why we choose Jim to do this. Number one, he's very professional. You can understand the words that come out of his mouth. Great diction. He understands how to report goodness. And obviously that's why we have him with us, because he does a lot of good. And he does a lot of good in our community as well. I'd also like at this time to talk about all those that are working every single day in our department. And the morale building that we try to do as a foundation is all part and parcel with sending these men and women off onto the streets with a feeling of pride and a feeling of ownership of knowing what's going on within our community. One of the things that came to the attention of the Police Foundation was the potential of putting in a mural right outside, I guess you'd call it, wherever these gentlemen and ladies gather in the morning to go out for their mission. So we had Sergeant Stoll, if you please stand up. Sergeant, where is he? That's not standing up, Sergeant. Come on, take. He's not going to stand up. And I'm not going to tell him to stand up. Thank you so much for not standing up. Anyway, he came to us with a great idea. And he said, wouldn't it be great if we could do a mural outside of, what do you call the room? Is it? Will call room. Roll call room. Will call me not next year. That'll be Christina next year. Last year I forgot the invocation. This year I forgot. Anyway, so he came to the foundation with this idea, and then he personally went out to seek out someone to do this mural. And he came to us, made presentations, and I must say our board really was very accepting and passionate to this idea, and also gave some very good direction as to possibly, moving forward with this. And we would fund it along, I believe other funds came from the Burbank Police Officers Association, which is like our sister. And so we worked together, and do you have a video clip of that? And then I will introduce the artist. So we're going to show a quick clip of the mural in the process of being designed. Tell we were on a time crunch, so she worked very fast. If you'll notice, a lot of the people that are in this mural are officers that have given their lives in the line of duty in Burbank. This is being painted on canvas, so if we ever move this roll call room, we will be able to move that as well. Or if something happens to the building, we can move it. But I'd like to introduce you our artist, Jeannie Hattis Wilson. Jeannie, stand up, Jeannie. Thank you, Jeannie. And so because of all of you and your contributions to the foundation, we're able to fund that for our officers, because without motivation, without inspiration, without them knowing that we believe in them, why do you go to work? And these people go to work because they care. And it's of that kind of compassion and that kind of passion as to why we do what we do at the foundation. And I know that's why that you help support this foundation. So these are the things that we do and we will continue to do. And as president of the Burbank Foundation, I'd like to thank all of you for attending. It's been one of the pleasures of my life to continue to giving back. And I think that we'd also like to thank the Pickwick Gardens. I don't know if Ron Stavert is here and his crew, but they do an outstanding job every year. If we could have a round of applause for Pickwick Gardens, please. Also to the police chief and his command staff, if I could have a round of applause for all that they do. And to the continued success of the Burbank Police Department, their men and women, and their safety. When you see them on the street, thank them. If you're raising children, teach them to thank them. On behalf of the foundation, thank you very much. We'll see you next year. Bye-bye.